Are you ready?
I am.
He is. Jon Peckman Podcast, Connected Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, start looking left. Pull a U-E, park in front of the music store with the red neon light. Like and subscribe. Hit the alert so you can know when we have a new show up. You can have your very own show here in our beautiful studio. Dave will tell you how at the end. And we have today a new friend. Name is Don Roy. He is an instrument builder, right?
Yep.
A builder of instruments. Tell us about some of the instruments that you build.
I started out probably 6-7 years ago.
Wow.
My first instrument was a cigar box guitar.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did
Six string?
3.
Oh, okay. All right.
3,
So we'll get into that.
3-string, GDG.
Mm-hmm.
And from there I went to, I built a couple of electric ones.
Hmm.
You know, it's like with a slide, it really screams.
Hey, that's kind of
It's
cool.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
And now I'm on dulcimers.
Hey.
Yeah, building dulcimers now, and I sold a few of them, and
Hey.
the reviews have been favorable.
That's cool.
Haven't had one come back yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And from there,
What's next?
there's a guitar in my future.
Yeah, right.
I have to build a guitar.
Your own. Your very own.
Well, you know, I'm going to do a kit first. You know,
Okay.
because Stuart McDonald, I have some really nice kits, and
Okay.
and they said it's a really good introduction to guitar building. So I'm gonna just go.
So
with
do that first and then figure out
Absolutely.
what you would
Absolutely.
change, what you would do differently.
Well, I mean, you know, so if it comes out good, that might be just it. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
Just put the kits together, and
All right.
and you know, I imagine it may be just a one-off, and I'll just build one for myself and give one of my other guitars away, maybe.
Yeah, right.
To some kid that needs one,
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
maybe downstairs.
Yeah,
There's
right.
some kid that needs a guitar.
Hey, you never know. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you're a musician, I would imagine.
Without any formal training, I learned to play guitar by ear,
Sure.
and I came from a big family, so there wasn't any money for guitar lessons. So,
All right.
or for a guitar for that matter. My first guitar was given to me by my cousin.
You grew up here in Portland?
Oh no,
Okay.
I grew up in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a dual citizen.
Oh, okay.
I
All right.
came down here in '85. Was married my wife and became a naturalized citizen in
Whereabouts in Canada?
2000, East Coast,
Okay.
New Brunswick.
Okay.
Well, not on the coast, but in
Yeah.
New Brunswick.
My in-laws are from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh yeah,
I don't
a
know
lot of people are from up there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's just, you know, a lot of people came down just to get work.
Yeah, right.
You
Right.
know, it's like I'm tired of working in the woods
Yeah, sure.
or mining coal. It's time for something easier.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You know. So came down in '85. Were you playing? So you played all through your childhood? You would say.
Probably about 8-9 years old.
Okay.
when I started.
Started figuring it out. So you said like an uncle left a guitar or something or somebody.
One of my cousins
One of your
gave me. I don't even remember what it was. An old electric guitar with some funky looking amp. It was like, oh, this is quite a rig.
Yeah. And you just started figuring stuff out.
Yeah, I just went down to the local store and bought a chord book and went from there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's
you know,
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And you figured you got kind of far with it, you would say?
Well, you know, maybe not where I mean, I might have gotten a little farther with some guidance, but what the heck, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm having fun with it
Yeah.
anyway, so that's the whole point of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Bands and stuff like that?
No, never delved into that.
Really?
I
Just
was
doing your own thing?
always too busy.
Mm-hmm.
And the closest thing to performing that I do is like I play a lot up at St. Mary's Church.
Oh, okay.
I've been a member of the choir there for 15 years,
Whoa.
I think now, and
Cool.
you know I play.
Soprano, right?
No, bass.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so I play guitar for that. Some dulcimer every now and again, and
That's cool.
bass guitar also.
Oh, nice.
So just
So whatever.
just whatever the director needs that week.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Don, bring that. Sometimes I'm walking in with 2 or 3 instruments.
You wish you didn't tell him.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes.
it's a it's a volunteer thing. I can't afford a roadie.
Yeah, right. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it keeps you busy learning stuff.
Oh yeah. I've learned. So not in real time, but I can sort of read music just from the 15 or so years in,
Sure.
in sight reading and
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't play anything in real time. It would be pretty slow and painful.
Well, whatever it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then when did you take an interest in deciding that you were going to build something? How does that happen?
Well, I was always been interested in woodworking.
Okay.
From a very early age.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. I mean, it's a hobby.
Yep.
And I mean, I was involved in construction way back there when I was a young dude.
So you're not afraid to make or do stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, because I'm the opposite. I'm lucky I can figure anything out. So
yeah, I'm just kind of dive in, figure it out on the way.
hey, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't.
But at least you will learn along the way, right?
Well, yeah. The success rate has gotten better over the years.
Yeah, I guess just like anything, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Why did you ever say, hey, let me see if I could make one? Was it just curiosity, or like how?
Yeah.
Like what makes somebody want to do that? I'm just curious. I've never.
Well, I mean, it's just the desire to, because I had built, cabinets and,
Sure.
tables and whatnot. But when you build an instrument, you get to the end, you put a finish on it, and then you put the strings on it. It's alive.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
It's like it's more satisfying than any other wood project that I've ever done.
Wow. That's cool.
That's the best part.
So you just figured out, let's see if I could try this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't go in totally blind. I bought plans and whatnot, and did a lot of online study and whatnot.
Was it harder or easier than you thought? I mean, was there at any point where you were like, what was I thinking? Or were you just like, I got this?
Really? There's always some of that. So what did I get myself into? It's like, then you just kind of dig in and figure it out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like you say, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah.
You don't build yourself a guitar.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. I mean, the plan that I bought was fairly detailed.
Yeah.
And, it produced a pretty nice looking instrument, I think.
Yeah. So you said the first thing you built was a cigar
box.
What's that all about? I've seen those around.
It's basically it's just a stick about 1.25 inches wide, maybe, and it runs entirely through the box.
Yeah.
And
it's literally a cigar box.
Yeah, literally a cigar box.
Empty.
And empty.
And that's you get. And that's the That's the resonation.
Yeah, and I found that not much sound comes out of it. It's like okay, with the slide sounds kind of neat, but once the second or third one I electrified it, and that was kind of neat.
So we'll get to that. So it's a 3-string instrument.
Yeah.
So what's that all about?
3. It's tuned to an open chord, an open G chord, a
Sure.
G, GDG.
Okay.
And from there you can just slide up to
So it's more of a slide instrument.
Yeah, you can. It's fretted. I mean, there's some that are unfretted.
Yeah.
They just put a mark on, some guide marks like they put on the violins to teach the kids how to play. And you can play it either fretting or sliding or a combination of both.
Is it more like a solo instrument? I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like to solo on rather than a 6-string guitar you're going to strum on, sing tunes or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like more of a just kind of almost a novelty kind of.
It is, yeah.
And what does it offer? Is it it's a different sound? that someone came up with the box thing? Is that what it is? Like it's
Yeah, it's kind of doesn't have a lot of ring to it. Kind of a funky, plunky kind of sound. And with the slide, it's a little bit different.
That's cool.
And marginally a little bit louder.
Who came up with that?
I think it was just backwoods people. Just
Somebody was just like, check this out.
Yeah. They just figured out. It's like, 'cause
Was it around for a while? Is it something that people did?
I think it's quite an old instrument.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I think
So I never thought about it.
They've been around for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
Probably like the origin of the dulcimers.
Yeah, right. Which
Was
we'll
in
talk about.
Appalachia.
Right.
And good chance the cigar box guitar came from basically the same place or the same idea.
Yeah.
Just people that have almost nothing
making
something out of almost nothing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Imagine, what about the people that don't even have cigars? I wonder what they made. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, at least you had cigars.
Well, I mean,
box.
I've seen like tin can.
Yeah, right.
Tin can, cigar box, but the sound chamber is like a tin can.
I guess where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah.
You're going to make music out of whatever.
Yeah, I think the will to make music is a pretty strong motivating force.
Is there a hole in the cigar box?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like a thing.
Pop a couple of holes in there.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Or one.
Yeah. So then you're like, this is nice, but I want it to be louder.
Yeah.
And then how'd you do that? You electrified it.
Yeah. I
went electric.
Yeah.
Don't play it at the Newport Folk Festival in 1963.
Oh, no. They throw me out of there.
Yeah.
It was... I just got some pickups and looked... Or the first one was a single pickup.
Okay.
And basically, I just, okay,
This'll work.
Let's look in how to wire a pickup into this thing and see what happens.
And what happened? It happened.
It happened. Yeah. And, I mean, the single pickup one is, I think, it's pretty much the best one ever.
So you did more than one pickup.
I did another one. It's set up with the two pickups, like a Les Paul setup, with the volume and tone control on both pickups.
Yeah.
And
so like neck and bridge.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that sounded good too.
Yeah.
But with with 3 strings tuned to an open chord, it's a bit limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean.
But it worked.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I still have it hanging up in my music room.
That's cool.
Just to look at it.
Were you psyched when you were like, oh hey, this is the thing.
Listen to this.
Yeah. And can you get loud? You can overdrive it, right?
Oh yeah.
Play it through.
Oh yeah.
A loud amp.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people online playing the cigar box guitar. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
well, I
killer.
mean, I'm sure you've seen the shovel guitar guy.
No,
he took just a
shovel,
short-handled round spade.
Yeah.
And put a couple of tuning 3 tuners on it.
Why not?
And it's crazy.
Yeah, right.
These guys standing there playing the shovel. It's like, get out of town.
That's so funny. Did you ever see? There was a movie called It Might Get Loud. Did you ever see that movie? It was interesting. It was a documentary about a filmmaker put Jack White from the White Stripes, Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin, and The Edge from U2 together. Like just put them on the soundstage with their rigs, and they're just talking and trading things. But then they would have kind of exposition. They would have, show them kind of just doing their own thing before that. And the movie opens with Jack White just like with a piece of wood. He's out in a field somewhere with a piece of wood and a hammer and some nails. And he just takes this chunk of wood and kind of creates a thing, and then takes a guitar string and wraps it around it, and then takes a pickup and just nails it in there and plugs it in and starts playing slide. Like just to show that kind of what you're saying, you could make it out of whatever.
Yeah.
And if you turn it up loud enough, it sounds like an electric guitar.
Yeah.
And that was his thing.
Yeah, you can do that with just one string.
Right. Yeah, that's what he did. He just kind of made a thing.
Yeah.
Like
and make music.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Guess where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Like they say. That's funny. And then what came next after that? You're like, okay, I got this. How many did you make? Oh boy.
3, I believe.
Okay.
Possibly 4.
Do people get nutty with like what kind of box is it? I mean, is it that nutty? A metal box.
I've seen some of those.
Would that matter? I wonder.
Yeah, I saw one guy. He made one of the old military.
Yeah, like
the
a
gas
mess kit.
the gas cans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The big gas cans. And it was like, wow, that sounds pretty cool.
It's interesting. Make one out of anything.
Yeah, pretty much. And anything to make a resonating chamber.
Yeah, that's all it is, right?
On it and
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you, how many? I'm sorry, you said you made 3.
Let's see now. 3, yeah.
Did they get better as you went?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Third one's the charm.
the third one was the charm. That was the single pickup. It had an interesting looking cigar box with a nice label on it.
You're like, this is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah.
You bring that to church?
I've there was one time we went over to the I can't remember the little church on Waverly Avenue.
Yeah,
I can't remember. But anyway, we did a little thing over there with those people.
And you brought that thing.
I brought that and we did like Amazing Grace and a couple other little
That's funny.
tunes.
And people were like, what is that? And you're like, I made it. I made this thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kinda
Oh
cool.
yeah. So well, how did you make that? Well, what is it? It's like, it's a cigar box guitar. What is it?
It's just a bar.
It's a box with a stick going through it and some 3 strings.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah. That's funny. What amp did you play through?
My Marshall acoustic amp.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's so fun.
Yeah, electric guitar and acoustic amp.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Hey, why not? Why not? Is it like feedback because it's hollow? You have issues with that or no? Not
No,
really.
no, didn't have any issues with that at all.
Cool.
It just sounded nice. They enjoyed the heck out of it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty wild. You're like, this is from the other church.
Mm-hmm.
The other church across town. This is how we roll.
Yeah,
we got this thing.
Yeah.
I got a Marshall.
We do it this way over there.
That's funny. And then after that, you were like, now I'm going to make it. Then what? After the cigar box thing, you're like, okay, I kind of got this.
Yeah, and I think there was kind of a hiatus from that for a couple of years, like kind of good, and then the dulcimer came up, and it's like, well, it's like that looks simple enough to build.
Yeah.
If I can do a cigar box, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
And the first one was I just found a picture on Pinterest.
Wow.
And they had just basically the dimensions to build a what's called the hourglass, like the one that's sitting there.
Yep.
And and they had a chart for where to place the frets and whatnot. And other than that, not much information.
Whoa.
And I just kind of went in blind and kind of figured it out. And
Whoa.
And it came out decent.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
Oh.
It isn't pretty. I gave it to a lady that had an old dulcimer that wouldn't. I mean, the fretboard looked like you could throw a cat under the strings in the middle.
Yeah.
And I gave it to her. I think
she's happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it was a kind of a different design. It was kind of on the fly. And what I did was I put a stick through the middle of it inside between the top and the bottom.
Okay.
And put a little support to marry the fretboard and that support stick on the inside, and I've had it up to pitch for like over a year, and
it's cool.
It hasn't moved. It's still rail straight.
Wow. And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's the way it stays together.
Yeah.
The whole thing is
Yeah. I mean, that was just something I came up with. I haven't seen any other instrument with that in it.
So they don't do that. I wonder why.
No, I think I might build another one with this plan and incorporate that into it and see.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time I will detune my instrument if I'm gonna let it sit for a while, just to take the stress off the neck.
Yeah, sure.
Because if it's under stress permanently, I mean, eventually something's gonna give.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Why dulcimer? You have an interest in that music, if we could even call it that, whatever kind of
Yeah, well, it's like it was more of this looks easy enough to build for
And you never
For
even
me?
you didn't even play one until the
No,
minute you finished it.
yeah, no, yeah.
That's funny.
Never ever played one. I
Wow.
saw people playing them and
Yeah.
whatnot. And said, oh, that's kind of interesting.
And you were like, I'm just going to build one to see if
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part about it? So, as I understand it, just for people who maybe don't know, and then we'll show them, but there's teardrop shape, right?
Yes.
Which is just like that. There's a neck. The neck runs through the body, kind of.
Yeah.
But unlike just before we show it to people, like with a guitar, you picture like it's a body of the guitar and then the neck extends.
Yeah.
Dulcimer is kind of it's all one thing. The neck is
The neck is joined to the body full length.
right.
Yeah.
So there's a teardrop shape, which is just like a big oval, and then there's the hourglass shape and that's what is that yours?
Yeah, mine's an teardrop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you ever make an hourglass one?
The first one I made was an hourglass.
Is it harder?
Uh,
I don't know the
yes,
difference
yes.
enough.
I mean, for an hourglass, I had to steam the side pieces to get them to bend.
To get it to do the thing.
And the quality of the wood was
Yeah.
a little questionable, maybe, and there was some cracking going on. So the deepest bend in the middle,
Yeah.
I had to kind of make that as a separate piece, sort of like the little curl that they put in a violin,
Yeah.
that type of deal.
Yeah.
And
And so the teardrop is you just getting it to kind of bow once. You're not trying
Yes,
to do that
yes.
that deep
Yeah.
dip or whatever.
yeah, I made a positive and negative mold, and when you get the woodwork down to 1/8 of an inch, it's quite flexible. So
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
So then you can just kind of make it.
yeah, I just kind of press it into the form, glue the back on it,
Wow.
and then turn it over.
Wow. That's cool.
Well, but still, the first one time I took it off the mold, it's like the sides wanted to go back to where they were, and it's kind of straightened out a little bit, and the top kind of bowed a little bit. It's like, well, what do I do with this?
Yeah. Well, what do you do?
So I went into the house, and I got the clothes iron, and I draped a wet cloth over the thing and passed the iron back and forth.
Wow.
Heated it up on both sides, and then, well, let's see. I let it cool and dry, and I went out the next day to see, well, so let's see if that worked. And I pulled it off the mold, and it stayed right where it was.
Wow.
It was like, wow, it just relaxed everything into place.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that it's super relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and being that thin, it gets hot enough, and the moisture gets into it, and everything just kind of stretches into place.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably what they discovered. Like you're discovering it on your own.
Yeah.
Like you
pretty
got to
much.
imagine.
Trial and error. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's probably that's how they did it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You would think.
Yeah. Trial and error is how they got a car to go down the road for the first time.
It's everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And so you just said, I'm going to do this on my own, just using woodwork knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
pretty much, yeah.
that's heavier than a cigar box. Like you're building the body
Yeah.
and gluing the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, just a lot of time sawing and planing wood to start with. And,
Wow.
let's go out to the shop and glue part of it together. And
How much does the wood have to do with the sound? How much do you know?
oh yeah, well, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, I try and use what's recommended as
Mhm.
tone woods.
I see.
The top I made out of Sitka spruce
Okay.
and hard maple on the back. And
I got you.
this particular
So you didn't make
one,
that up. At least you had guidance. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
I know what
yeah.
kind of wood to look for.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
It's kind of wild.
yeah. And I found myself a good place to source the wood locally.
Yeah.
which is helpful.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then, so here you are. You made one, and then you tune it up, pluck it, and then you're like, now I gotta figure out how to play it.
Yeah, I
just like
guess
that.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Was it weird? Like,
no,
were you-
it wasn't.
It's kind of it's intuitive instrument in some kind of weird way.
Yes, it is. You know, I mean, I tell people you can play a melody on any string,
Right.
any one string,
Right.
and
Make
the rest of it just happens.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can play it that way, and you can get a little bit more involved also. So,
Right, but you can make music pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been quite a lot of my guitar playing. Playing with the open chord tunings.
Oh, okay.
Which this is a lot like playing a guitar that's in tune to open D.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's what it is, pretty much. Right?
Pretty much half a guitar.
Right.
Half of a guitar tuned in open D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's what. All right. So, I'm a drummer by trade, more or less, and never really I could kind of play bass. So I have some facility with picking and fretting and stuff like that. So it's not like completely foreign. But I always like stringy. I always like kind of folky, stringy kind of instruments. But didn't really know. Fooled around on mandolin, too small. Too small.
So did I. It's a very small instrument.
For me, I could never really figure out guitar. And I was teaching at a store that had a dulcimer sitting there, on consignment or something. I was like, oh, I've seen this thing. It's like Joni Mitchell plays one.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like when you discover that it's an open tune. So I guess we could start showing people. But this is one of mine. So it's kind of an hourglass is what we're talking about, shape, and then you can show yours. But it's four strings, but really only 3 because, so it's an open tune, D-A-D right across.
Yep.
And then that top D is a unison, 2 strings playing the same note. They kind of give you that 12-string rich thing. But, not being a guitar player, you're already.
It's music already.
Yeah, it's already music, and then move the one.
Yeah.
So also, I don't know if people could see it, but what makes it easy is most string instruments, they're what we call chromatic, which means they have every note, all the notes in, not even in the scale, but chromatic, every note available. And this is like the way it's set up. It's almost idiot proof, which is good because I'm an idiot, but like the frets are laid out, whole step, half. Frets are set up like a major scale. So if you can, I got the 6.5, the 5.5. So right away, you can, just figure things out right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an easy instrument, easier than guitar. And so I saw that thing, and it was in the back of my mind. And then, unfortunately, once COVID was at its worst, and we were kind of not leaving the house, I just bought one on eBay, and I said, I'm gonna fiddle as the world burns. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna master this thing. I'm gonna play this thing every day as the earth crumbles. And as soon as I got it and played it for a week, things started opening up again. I was like, oh well. But I had fun. I got a student model one at first. It was cool. Intonation was kind of wacky. Then I'm like, how do but anyway. But yeah, I just decided I'm going to learn how to play. It'll give me something to do, keep me occupied. And then, as a drum teacher, I try to pose myself little challenges so that I remember what it's like to be frustrated and learn something, because I'm telling kids every day, like, oh, you got to practice, and you watch them frustrated. So I try to put myself in the soup and go, okay, let me see if I can figure this out. So I'm engaged too. And then just watch folks on YouTube play.
Yeah.
Just try and figure it out. Got a little chord book. I'm playing it lefty upside down because I'm left-handed. So I have to flip the chords. But yeah, I just kind of going through a book and learning, I can play Amazing Grace and Cripple Creek and Arkansas Traveler, like all the handful of things that people first learn. And then there's a couple of tunings. You can. What's the first one? You drop the D.
Yes, I think I've heard of DAA
Yeah,
tuning. I
yeah.
haven't tried it to see what that's like.
There's an open minor. I don't remember which one it is, but I was learning Scarborough Fair. You can do an open minor tuning, and then all of a sudden you're in a thing. Then there's a capo, which is bizarre. It's like and there you go. Yeah, that's it.
Homemade.
Yeah. Oh, hey now. See what I'm saying? Yeah, that's great. I'll hit you up because I had. Of course, my first one I bought, I didn't understand it, and I cranked it so hard that it exploded, and that was the end of
Popped
that one.
it, huh?
I just popped it because I didn't.
Yeah, this
I didn't
one's been
understand.
hanging in pretty good.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a good one by now, but I just realized that you really got to get it straight. You really got to get it straight before you start putting a death grip, because if it's not, you just put stress on the spring or whatever.
Yeah, and if you don't get it tight enough, you start playing and it starts coming up.
Yep.
And then it's not so nice anymore.
Yeah. No, I've been through all that. That's killer. But anyway, that's my story with it, and I love it. I mean, I just making stuff up.
Yeah.
Learning things, and then. I mean, it's somewhat limited. Obviously, it's not chromatic like a guitar, so you can't play everything ever. But if you approach it with the right mood or attitude, I'll just sit down and start making shapes, and hey, there's something I never did. Let me see what works and string that together, and then slowly, a thing comes together. Yeah. It's fun.
I mean, at some point, I've heard because I looked into a little bit of the history of the dulcimer.
Yeah,
and. In the very beginning, the frets were just a tiny little short piece. They didn't even go all the way across, and you would play only on the
I've seen
double
those.
string,
It's like
the high D.
Fret. Yeah,
just a little bitty piece of fret.
So it's just drone and melody, and that's it. They don't even.
That was the very beginnings of it, and then they put the frets all the way across, and then it was the what do they call it? The diatonic.
Right.
And then people started adding a fret here.
Yep.
I want a 1.5. I want a 5.5.
Yeah.
I put the 1.5 in. So I used the heck out of it. I really like it.
That's what.
Yeah.
So that's pretty progressive, right? So when I first bought this one, I didn't know this was the first good one that I bought, and it didn't have the 5.5. And I was watching people online, and I'm like, what note is that? I don't have that note. And then I discovered that there's what they call the 5.5 fret. And I didn't know you yet. I couldn't get anybody I would call luthiers, and they were like, what's a dulcimer? No, never mind.
I get that a lot.
Right. And I was trying to get someone to put, I just said, I just need you to put a fret, and no one could do it. And I can't remember who I found, but some luthier said, you need a guitar builder is what you need. And I found some dude up in East Hartford, really cool kid, and he makes electric guitars. And I met him, and he goes, "Yeah, I do that right now." He banged it out.
Yeah.
But if I had known you, I didn't know you yet.
Yeah.
But I got this one with the 5.5. But that was like a mystery. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And so I guess I don't know when, but it didn't always have that. Like this was old fashioned without that 5.5.
Right.
And then I guess 5.5 becomes a little more standard, and then if you're really newfangled, you have the 1.5, which is what you have.
Yeah.
So talk about that. What's that all about?
Well,
I can't play that. I never fooled around with a 1.5.
It's just one more note.
Yeah.
It's just one more note. You got a sharp in there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and as I read on in this history of the dulcimer that I was telling you about earlier, they said it may progress to be a fully chromatic instrument.
And then it's just a 3-string guitar.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
It's weird.
you could play anything.
Although I've seen people
any
with,
song, any note.
I've seen people with chromatic dulcimers. They do exist. Some people. Just every fret.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I spent the it was days making the template to do the fret job. I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about making them chromatic, that some people, putting in the 1.5.
Yeah. Well, when I made the template, I put all of the frets on it just
to
in
see.
case.
Yeah.
Just in case I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it took me days, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
measuring to
Yeah.
the thousandth of an inch. And apparently I got it right, so because it sounds pretty good.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the 1.5. Yeah. Like I say, it's not everybody. That's not quite standard yet. Like you see,
No,
you see the
no.
5.5 more often.
Yeah.
The 1.5 you see, but not yet. Like you
Yeah.
say, it's creeping.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
a little bit
the-
at a time.
yeah,
People
yeah.
discover, oh, gee, you know,
Yeah. It would be nice if
if I
this
had that note.
Yeah. Yeah, until eventually it'll
Yeah.
just be,
Yeah.
it'll be an inconvenient guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I think, I don't know. Again, I'm not much of a player, but it's the age-old one of those things where sometimes the limitation of something makes it more interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
The fact that you're kind of limited to a major scale unless you capo it, and then you're kind of in minor world. Like if you put that capo on the second fret, I experiment with that, and you're like, okay, now I'm in minor world. It's a whole different thing or whatever. You can move the capo around and kind of change it up.
Yeah.
Different tunings.
Yeah.
Now I'm discovering that like Joni Mitchell didn't use any standard normal dulcimer tuning. She just fooled around till she found stuff.
This sounds good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
just make anything sound good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. You want to show us? You want to see if we can? I got you on camera, so I can at least I can see what it looks like and show everybody what this is all about. Because this is an original Don Roy creation right here.
And this little unit on the back is what's called a possum board.
Okay.
And what it does for you is when you set it on your lap, it allows the back to
Fully resonate.
to vibrate freely.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's a thing with drums that are like that.
Yeah.
It suspends the.
And it gives you a little bit more volume.
Yeah. Did you? I don't have that. Is that a thing, or did you invent that?
I saw one on the Folkcraft Instruments website, and it was full, and I thought to myself, well, you don't really need it here. It ain't going to vibrate very much up here because there's hardly any surface there. So I just made one to fit on there. It's just basically a piece of wood with the leather on there. Once it
just slide
it grabs a hold of it,
that's kind of
it stays there.
Yeah. And it makes a difference.
It does, because if you, if I can.
Yeah, sure.
I showed this to you the other last week, and
yeah.
I don't know if the folks could pick up the difference in the sound because
Do it again.
It gets a little louder when I pick it up off my lap.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
so you're basically lifting it off your lap a little bit.
Basically,
with that thing.
Yeah. That's all it really does.
And what do you call that?
A possum board.
Oh, okay.
Why,
who knows
why it's called that? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, because in the old days it was the carcass of a possum.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know where it came from, but I just give it call it the separator.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool.
Keep it off me board.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. That's killer. So I don't know. Take it. What's interesting about the making of this that you can share with us? Anything?
Well, I mean, the most complicated part is obviously setting up the fretboard. But now that I have the template made, that's kind of easy.
Yeah, right.
A lot easier, and quite a lot of work into doing this piece.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get one step of it wrong, well, throw it in the fire because it's junk now.
And is it all one piece?
Yes, this is all one piece.
Wow.
Well, I mean, part of it goes into here about yay far.
But you've got to make the scroll top and the whole thing.
Yep.
Wow.
From a block of wood.
Wow.
And it's almost exactly the same shape as yours.
Yeah.
Yours is a little thicker through from top to bottom, but it just.
Is that the most challenging? That's got to be challenging, right? Making that scroll top.
Yeah, not really.
Oh, really?
You know, I mean, like I said, I've been woodworking
So you're just like, yeah,
since I was a kid.
So you're like, I got that.
And I got machines up the yin yang, so
Yeah, right.
not worrying about
Make
that.
something wild. Make some crazy scroll top.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you want. You could
Yeah, right.
put a flying V on it or something.
Yeah, right.
Something crazy, flames.
You never know. Now, you were telling me something about the wood. That wood was special. in some
Oh
kind of
yeah,
way.
this wood is very special. I'm not going to name names, but because I haven't, some friends of mine. This was probably harvested in the 60s,
Wow.
and these two people were in the Peace Corps, and they were stationed in the Solomon Islands, in the South Pacific, and when it came time to, they were done
Sure.
with that. They were looking around to find material to build crates so that they could ship their possessions back
Sure.
back to the U.S.
Sure.
And they looked into the plywood, and it's like it was prohibitively expensive.
Oh, wow.
But you know, rosewood trees and mahogany
Oh, I see.
was like just trees.
Yeah,
you
right,
know, we
right.
can chop
Literally
them.
growing on trees.
Yeah,
it
we
is
could-
the trees.
We'll chop them down and saw some boards for you,
Wow.
and you know, end of the story.
Yeah.
And I was gifted with a pretty good chunk of this rosewood, and very pretty wood.
And did you
As you
have
can
that
see.
wood before you thought of making this? And you were like, that's going to be the thing?
No, I had built several before out of African mahogany,
Okay.
and which is pretty wood also.
Yeah.
But the rosewood is a lot harder,
Mm.
and well, the only downside, it's difficult to saw because it isn't really super hard, but it's a really gummy wood,
Okay.
and it gums up the blade really bad. And so I have to stop and clean the blade every few cuts. So
Wow.
so what?
Huh.
No big deal.
But it was worth it.
But oh yeah, but you know, the finished product is pretty.
So it's the wood that you're talking about is the fretboard and the sides.
Yeah, the sides, the tuning head, and the fretboard. With we had the hard maple
Yeah.
underneath for the main body, and same thing in the back. That's a strip of mahogany
Yeah.
with hard maple.
And do you have the patented Don Roy thing in the middle?
No, I didn't put that in this one, but this one is hanging in pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it's hanging in. It's nice and straight still. So
How old is that? When did you make that?
this one is. Let's see. There's a date inside here somewhere.
Oh, wow.
It was June.
Oh, okay.
June of this year. So it's still a baby.
Yeah. Is that not your first?
This is probably fourth, fifth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to make one? Depends.
Depends on how the bugs are getting worked out of the process.
Yeah,
so it's a little faster every time. So somewhere around 20 hours.
Oh, wow.
But I mean,
It's not that bad.
the sawing of the wood doesn't really take, because usually when I'm sawing a batch of wood, I'm
Yeah.
sawing enough to make probably 4 or 5 instruments.
Yeah.
You know,
How many have you made total?
I think this is number 5
Oh, wow. Okay. And
or 6.
they're getting better as they go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But well, I mean, I started the 2-inch thick. This one is a 3-inch thickness through the body.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it adds a lot of volume or not,
So just trial and error.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had seen some that were deeper body,
Yeah.
and I'll give that a go.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
That's really cool. What would you do differently as you go, or you think you got your? Do you make an hourglass one or not yet?
I haven't yet. No.
Not interested.
No, I had someone ask me about it, but it's like, I'm kind of set up.
Yeah, you're good.
Kind of set up for this right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody wants one bad enough,
Yeah.
so I would give it a go.
Yeah.
I would give it a go.
So
absolutely.
is it? I think I get it. Teardrop is more likely to have like the F-hole type,
Well, I mean,
or can they have the heart? Because I don't know if people
yeah.
can see this at home, but Hourglass. Well, I don't even know if it's Hourglass, but they're into this heart thing.
Yeah, I think that's just the
somehow or
what do
other
they call that?
that became their thing.
Yeah. But it's like I've seen them with the F holes too. I kind of like the F hole.
Yeah.
The first one I made for or the second one that I have at home is I put an F hole and a couple of round holes. I'm really not partial to the hearts that much, but well, I have one. But
yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. That's cool. Play something. You want to play something? Or maybe move the mic. Let's do that. Try that a little bit. Yeah, point that down. Yeah, see if we can get a sound on that. Yeah. Capo's going on.
I'm gonna slap a capo on this thing,
on the first fret.
which puts us in E. I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, picks.
Oh boy. A real finger picker. I do a fake finger picking thing, but for real.
All right. All I have to do is not have this thing slide off my lap.
There you go.
Yeah. I forgot. I don't play a lot with the capo.
Yeah.
So I kind of lost my place in a couple of times.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, so nobody bought a ticket for this thing.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing at church. It's like you're playing before a captive audience, more or less.
Right.
And
what are they going to do?
They didn't buy a ticket. They're not going to walk out. This guy sucks.
Right. Well, no, not really. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, that's the fun of it.
Yeah. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
This one needs no introduction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right, exactly. I will see your amazing grace.
Amen to that.
And I will raise you mine. I'll show you my version. This is the debut. I watched some fool on YouTube over and over. Oh no! Well, hey, no one bought a ticket. Well, yeah, that's the idea. You know what I mean?
Yep. Sounds like I got to work on mine.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, that I did nothing else. I just sat there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't want to spend too much time on one instrument and and ignore the guitar too much.
Right, yeah.
Because it doesn't take long for things to. Oh, what was that now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then just diddle. Just diddling.
Yeah, just have fun with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd be too embarrassed. I don't want to play anything else, but.
Yeah, I've pretty much played out my repertoire.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I just got a handful of things. I do the fake. I do my own version of finger.
Yeah.
But kind of just making it up. But anyway, yeah, dulcimers, mountain dulcimers. Who was it that was here? I kept forgetting to go to that thing. Remember, I had a guest, and she does like a dulcimer workshop. Who was that?
Oh, over at the library.
Yeah, I got to get involved in that. Because I need help. I got to learn more songs.
No, it was over at the senior center. Lynn Tracy.
Right. Lynn Tracy. Yeah, I forgot about that. I got to get involved with that. I got to learn more songs, more different tunes. Yeah, cool. All right. We're getting close to the end.
Yep.
Do you have anything that you want to talk about that we did not talk about? That you can think of that you want to cover? Don't think too hard.
Didn't you see any smoke coming?
Yeah, right. Like about the dulcimer or anything?
No, it's just
it's bizarre, right? I mean, people say that it's a uniquely American instrument.
It is absolutely. Absolutely, and I know obviously I'm better at building them than I am at playing them.
Well,
but whatever.
We'll get there.
I'm going to have to work on that, I guess.
Or not. I mean,
yeah.
Got your thing.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah, and hopefully there's going to be a lot more of these.
Yeah.
And there was, I thought about this a little while ago. I saw a guy who was on YouTube. He had one of these, a 6-string.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's
so
wild.
I thought that was, and he was.
Then you started.
He started playing and it's like he said, "This thing is really loud."
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean,
now your wheels are turning.
How it's set up, I'm not exactly sure, but they're not set up like the strings on a mandolin.
Yeah.
They seem to, because when I was buying the blanks for the nut and the bridge, from Folkcraft, they had them set up so that you could do a 6-string, and they weren't equally distanced. I don't know what the deal is with that. How all of that works.
My other one has a weird nut. It has the configuration is weird.
Yeah. There's extra slots that aren't being used.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't figure out what that was all about.
No.
Like, wow, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, I started. I was using those, and I was looking online one day, and I could buy this material from China. I get enough. Blanks about that long.
Make your own notches.
I got a whole bunch of them for just a few bucks.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you could do anything.
Make your own.
That's that's pretty cool. Anything you could think of.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah.
And
the first one that I made for the fret position markers, I went to the store looking with my calipers, looking at the fabric store, looking for buttons that were 1/4 inch diameter.
Oh, wow!
Sort of like, and I just drilled a hole and glued a little button in there.
Oh, wow!
Has
so it's like a sunk button.
Yeah, it has the little holes in it. Makes it look real homey.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, right. That's funny.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I don't have. There's no fret markers on mine. Someone put stickers on my other one. I just left them on there. But no actual markers for real.
I mean, do you miss not having them?
No. Although I was thinking though, if you ever make me one and there's the 1.5, I'm going to need markers because I tried playing yours and I was getting lost because of that 1.5. I would have to give myself a caution sign or something there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the diatonic ones. It's like 1 fret, big space, 2 frets.
Yeah.
There's nothing in between the E and F, obviously. So
yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Funny.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Um,
It's this dulcimer world.
Dulcimer world. Yeah, it's a weird world. It's a cool world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, kind of into it.
Yeah.
Someday, I shouldn't say this, but next pandemic, my thing that I would really be interested in, but I've never run across one, is hammer dulcimer. That would be cool. That's a whole other thing, because being a drummer, I might actually be able to burn on that thing.
You know what? I have one at home that
Do you really?
someone gave me,
Whoa.
and it needs some work. It probably needs to be restrung.
That's a crazy instrument.
You know what? I ain't doing anything with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's strange how the thing is set up on a hammered dulcimer. It's one long string that goes over the anchor pin.
Right.
How that works, how you get both, you'd have to tune them both kind of at the same time, I would think, to get them to up to the right pitch. I would think that would be kind of you'd have to bring them both up at the same time.
Crazy.
It might take a very long time to tune one of those, I would think. Especially with new strings. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, I guess you just never change them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's, I mean, because that's a beautiful sound.
It is.
But,
it is, yeah. It's very, very harpy kind of.
Yeah.
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 Kind of cool.
But I didn't, I started looking at it, it's like, wow, this is a little out of my wheelhouse.
Well, for now, though.
It's in my closet.
I'm saying your curiosity will get the better. Yeah. You'll be like,
yeah, maybe.
yeah. I have an auto harp at home. I tried tuning it, and I'm just like, this is going to take me a month to get this thing in tune.
Uh-huh.
But, whatever.
I'm sure, I mean, how many strings are on an auto harp?
I don't know.
About 1,000?
Yeah, right. I don't remember.
Quite a few. It's got to be at least 20 to 30 strings, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 3 octaves at least, so however many strings that is.
A lot.
But yeah, a lot of strings. A lot of strings to tune.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know, because, like you say with the intonation, by the time, just using the snark, by the time you get one in and you're like, okay, cool, but then you're putting it out of tune as you go.
Exactly.
It just takes forever.
Exactly.
It's like you got to be a piano tuner.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a little while with new strings on a 6-string guitar.
Yeah.
You start on your low string, you get it out, and then that one's out.
Yeah, you're just chasing your tail for the rest of your life,
for
tuning it around in a
while.
circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, killer. All right, well, we could wrap up. I have these funny little wrap-up questions that I do. I'll just run them by you and we'll see what happens. Desert Island albums, as in, are there a handful of albums that you could listen to only for the rest of your life? If you were stranded on a desert island, could you name any that'll give us an idea of your musical taste for posterity? I know it's a hard one to answer.
Neil Young.
Sure.
I always liked Neil Young.
Sure.
I can't remember the name of the
Canadian.
album. Oh, yeah.
Neil Young from Canada.
Yeah. And I always liked, he just died not long ago.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah,
I heard him on
course.
the radio today. So, thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
Killer. Also Canadian,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Where he was born in Canada, I
Joni Mitchell,
couldn't
also
tell you. She
Canadian.
was a Canadian too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to find out in 1 second while you think and tell me some desert island food. What's your go-to food that you could eat only every day?
Only
Anything.
Well, doesn't everybody love bacon every day?
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. Gordon Lightfoot was from, I don't know where that is. Where's Orillia, Canada? Do you know where that is?
Orillia.
Let's see. Ontario.
Ontario.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Far out. So bacon every day. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how long I'd live.
Right, that's
on
what I'm
that kind
saying.
of a diet.
But what a way to go. Who cares? That's funny. All right. Cool. All right. Well, we could wrap it up. That was really interesting. I appreciate you coming. Because, Dave was like, oh, man, wait till you meet this dude. He makes dulcimers. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you're kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they came from the sky.
No.
People actually made them.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's killer. Yeah, that's great. There aren't many people that even know
Yeah.
what it is or care.
Yeah. I've found that to
It's
be
a
true,
pretty sound, though.
Yeah.
It's a nice sound.
It is. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's not a mandolin. It's not a guitar. It's both and neither.
Both
kinda.
and neither, and kind of its own thing
Yeah.
all by itself. Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. It suits me. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Is that okay?
Yep.
You have anything you want to add before I press the goodbye button?
I'm all set. Goodbye.
Hey, I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
I do.
I
you know?
appreciate you having me.
Of
and
course.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Don Roy, instrument maker, played his very own dulcimer that he made. What did you ever do with your life? Dude makes instruments. You know what I'm saying? Jon Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Go over the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a U, park in front of the store. Have your very own podcast here in our store. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Have your own podcast. Come on here with me. I have a list. It's getting longer and shorter at the same time. Thank you, Don Roy. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming. See you later, kids. Drive safe. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.